George Pratt discusses the history of beach access and currently, with intermittent closures, how both off-road vehicles and pedestrians can access the point. As both a fisherman and nature observer, he describes the bird populations on the point. He was interviewed by Sandy Jones Garrison on June 16, 2014.
Can you describe to me what it was like in the 70s to access the point for fishing and what it's like now?
At one time when I was here, first started coming here, all you needed to access the beach was a vehicle, a four-wheel drive vehicle that was licensed, and you had to have a driver's license. That's it. You didn't have to have a fishing license. You didn't have to have a beach permit. You didn't have to have an inspection sticker. You didn't have to have all of these other kinds of things. It was just very simple. You came and you accessed it. Eventually, they added a fishing license, so now you have to have a saltwater fishing license. There were certain sections of the beach that were closed even back then. It wasn't for nesting. It was because the beach was considered dangerous and impassable. There was a section, say for example, between Ramp 49 and Frisco that was pretty much closed. They said it was dangerous, but the beach filled out and they started allowing people to drive on it again. You had access to almost all beaches. There were plenty of birds nesting. You could go out to the point, and at that time colony birds were all over the point, particularly during the summer. You could see large groups of least terns, common terns, and royal terns nesting there. And it was fun to watch them. You could go out and sit and watch them do their mating flight and watch them land. But the beach was clear. There were no dunes like there are now. You were allowed to drive all in that area during the winter, and it tended to keep the vegetation down. You used to see the piping plover literally as you drove out to the beach in the ditches next to the ramp at 44, but you never saw them out on the beaches. The other thing you saw was if large birds like greater blackbacks, they weren't here during the summertime. If other gulls flew over the nesting terns, they would all come up, chase them away. So they would keep predators away, but they didn't seem to be bothered by people driving through it. The Park Service would cordon off those areas, but you could still have access to the beach and drive on it, and you could sit and watch the birds. But that beach has changed dramatically over the years. It's extended south a great deal.
How do you access the point now?
Well, right now
if you want to fish on the point now,
you have to walk there.
I mean,
You're supposed to stay in the water, which I assume is because that's North Carolina's land.
Okay.
The state of North Carolina claims most navigable waters. Supposedly, in states, you're to provide access to the beach. You have to provide access, and that's basically North Carolina's property.